Procrastination is a problem that becomes more and more significant with the more distractions we have in our lives. Nowadays, we have endless means for entertainment and distraction, so that creates the problem of procrastinating. I can't begin to count how many times I've said things like, "Oh, I'll do that tomorrow," or "Yeah, I should be doing that, but I'm really tired right now." The biggest problem with procrastination is that we make up the most sensible excuses for ourselves. We say things that make sense and we convince ourselves that there's no other way of going about doing things. This is why we find ourselves putting off everything until the last minute, rushing to get the work done even though we know we're gonna do a shitty job at doing it with the least amount of time. I know I've been there, not doing projects even though I knew they were due very soon. I always had something way flashier, way more entertaining to indulge in, and there's a lot of things that turned out very terribly because I procrastinated until the very last minute, doing dumb, distracting stuff. That's why it's very important that you find a way to stop engaging in the silly things in life. You need to find a way to conquer your mind and be above all the distractions, because in a world that lacks focus, the ones who can find strength in themselves and intentionally put their mind to achieving their desires are instantly put ahead of the masses. This is how you can stop procrastinating and build a strong discipline. The first question you might be asking yourself is, why do we procrastinate in the first place? If you don't understand why you procrastinate, then you can't solve the problem at hand. The reason why we procrastinate is because we often feel overwhelmed by the tasks we have to do. Our brain tells us that this work will never be finished in the first place, so why not just watch a little Netflix? These are the same thoughts that lead us to do something way more entertaining and easier. I remember being in school just overwhelmed by the number of projects that would be thrown at me and how I procrastinated doing them until 2 or 3 days before the due dates. I mean, we all dreaded those school days, right? Another reason why you might be procrastinating is because you are afraid to fail at what you do. Fear is what prevents us from starting a lot of things, and it might also be the reason why you're not doing what you've been wanting to do lately. When you're afraid to fail, you tell yourself it's better to not start in the first place, but you don't realize how important failure is for you. Failure inspires you to work harder and try again, something that you don't really get from success. You must keep in mind that when you fail to start in the first place, you don't just prevent yourself from failing, but you also prevent yourself from succeeding. You might also have too many distractions close to you. It's often easier to do those tasks that you dread when you have nothing but them to do, because your brain would rather do that than be bored. Regardless of the reason why you're procrastinating, the fact is that it comes from the mind. Procrastination is all mental, and it happens either because you're thinking too much about the task at hand, you're lazy, or if you're distracting yourself too much. You need to put your thoughts aside and drag yourself to working if you have to, because if you don't, then no one will. This is how you can stop procrastinating. It's not easy to stop procrastinating. I know that firsthand, and just like everything in life, it takes a lot of practice and consistent action to beat procrastination. The two most important things you can do to stop procrastinating is scheduling your tasks and having the discipline to stick with everything you set out to do every day. Of course, there are some extra things you could do, like decluttering your room and removing things that distract you, but that's the obvious stuff. And to be honest, that's just beating around the bush. If you want to stop procrastinating totally, then you need to hit it at the source. You need to build your mind, and there's no better way to do that than having a schedule and building discipline. If you can master these two, you can significantly decrease procrastination and do more in one day than most people do per week. Everyone's schedule will differ based on the goals and the tasks they have from work, school, etc. The point is, I can't give you the exact things to put in your schedule because our priorities differ, but I can guide you through it. First, you need to think about your goals. What do you want to achieve, and when do you want to achieve it? For example, I want to grow my channel, and I want to do that within the next 2 or 3 years, so I have to do something within my schedule that gets me closer to that goal every single day. That could be to script a video every day, record, or edit. As long as it gets me to my goal, I edit to my schedule. While scheduling tasks that are adjacent to your goals, allocate enough time to complete those tasks. Give them enough time to be able to work for long, but not so long that it negatively impacts your mind. Next, think about the habits you need to build. They can range from reading to journaling, or even walking outside more, because a lot of y'all really need that. Put those in your schedule and allocate time you think is appropriate for them. Thirdly, within your schedule, you must allow time for work or school-related tasks that you need to do. These are the tasks that you're most likely to procrastinate, so prioritize these the most. Your daily schedule should be flexible and include activities related to your goals, habits, work, school, and mental well-being. Don't go too extreme with everything, but don't make it too easy for yourself. I often find that the things I dread doing the most are easiest to do in the early stages of the day, so I schedule the mentally tasking things early and follow them up with the more relaxing things. Now that you know what to do at every moment of the day, you need a way to hold yourself accountable and do all the tasks you prioritize regardless of your mood in the present moment. You could try all the little fixes and workarounds to beat procrastination, but without discipline, you end up right where you started. People usually want advice they think is new and magical, but the truth is, you already know what you need to do to beat procrastination. You already know what you need to do to be disciplined and stop distracting yourself to get ahead in life. But you want someone else to beat it into you, don't you? You should build discipline to be able to do the dreadful things even when you don't want to. To build discipline, you need to practice going beyond your comfort zone. You need to consistently keep yourself on your feet and inspire yourself. Discipline is the act of putting yourself through so many hard situations that the thought of an easy life turns you off. To beat your procrastination, you need this mindset, believing that the hard things are hard because there is no growth without challenge. You only grow when you do what the average person would put off doing. Just stop looking for easy hacks and work on improving your capacity to handle difficulties. Stop procrastinating and take action. It's that simple. If you got any value from this video, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I post videos on self-improvement with an autistic input to it. Plus, the more the community grows, the more like-minded people you could be around. If that interests you, subscribe and do it different.